So after the final Detroit Lions preseason game, I still don't know who number 2 at QB is. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek, and welcome back to Detroit Lions Syndicate. If you are new to this channel, we talk all things about the Detroit Lions, just without the Y for yes or N for no. So if that's your type of thing, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also ring that notification bell to get these videos in your notification feed. The Detroit Lions preseason has come to an end, and I really don't know how to feel about this. The number 2 position at backup is still up for grabs. If I had to make a choice, it's going to be David Blau, no doubt. Tim Boyle was pulled out in the first quarter after throwing an interception, and he didn't even finish the half. Then he came in for the third quarter and could not do anything. David Blau came in and made some plays with his legs. Not the best showing for David Blau, but I think between that fourth down conversion, getting pummeled out there, and just being in there doing his thing, I think David Blau is number 2. Now, I will say this. I don't know if number 2 is on the roster, but if it had to come between David Blau and Tim Boyle, it's got to be David Blau. So winner, really nobody. I would have to pick one, David Blau over Tim Boyle, but at quarterback, I really wouldn't see a winner. I think it's a lot of positions still up for grabs for the Detroit Lions. Trinity Benson, Quintez Cephas. Who is not going to be on the roster? If I had to make a decision right now, I think that it's going to be Tom Kennedy and probably Trinity Benson. I think Cephas could be cut. I think that Khalil Pimpleton will be cut. Funchess, it's a lot of decisions that need to be made. He was out there, Funchess was out there, but I think he's going to be, I don't know, man, it's tough. It's a lot of unanswered questions. Savion Smith will be cut. He was getting Ricky Bobby out there. He's probably going to be packing up his bags in the next couple of hours. It was a couple of good things, too. If I take away early thoughts, the first team defense, they bended a lot, but they didn't break. They did not break. They did not allow a touchdown, 3 field goals out of the 4 Pittsburgh Steelers possessions. So I like what I saw from the first team defense, but that offense was stagnant. Running back, I think that Craig Reynolds was going to be number 3. Then I think Justin Jackson came up there and was eating. And so Craig Reynolds came in at the end, and I think it's going to come down between Craig Reynolds and Justin Jackson for running back number 3. Me personally, I love Jackson, but I still have a soft spot for Craig. I love the way he runs. He runs hard, tough, and he always is going forward when he gets to the hole and he's going forward. So for me, I like what I saw, but I'm going to take Craig Reynolds as number 3. DJ Chark was kind of a non-factor early in the game. I think it was a few targets, but not much there. It really wasn't a lot to go on as far as the decisions that the Lions are going to make. Khalil Pimpleton will probably be cut. Had the opportunity to catch a touchdown that would have made maybe more of a compelling case for him to make the roster, but he dropped it, and you cannot do that in the National Football League. I mean, Amon-Ra had a drop uncharacteristic early in the game, but then he made up for it a little later. So, in my opinion, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to figure out what they're going to do. Now, as far as the Lions trading for Mason Rudolph or picking him up, I don't see that happen. Mason Rudolph played a little bit in the fourth quarter, and he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. Now, one thing that was brought up in my chat today is Baltimore Raven backup Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley is kind of like a mini Lamar Jackson in terms of his athletic ability. So he could be somebody to look at. It definitely, in my opinion, would not be Mason Rudolph at all. So let me know in the comments below, what winners and losers did you have? It's really tough to pick there's a few winners, but the losers honestly would have to be the offense. The offense, man. I mean, we tried to do our thing near the end of the game. I would have to say it's even tough to name David Blau as a winner. I think if I gave him that title, it was just because he was tough. But one thing I did like from the Detroit Lions that I saw today was they embodied their motto, which is grit. They never gave up. And Mike Tomlin took his headset off with like 4 minutes to go in the game. And we were down to that last sack by when David Blau got sacked for the last time, we were trying to, I don't think we were trying to win the game, but we just weren't going to quit. And I love that about this team. I love the fact that even though it draws the game out, I love the fact that the Detroit Lions did not quit. That is what our team, you can't win games if you're not going to go all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that the Lions did that, but it's a lot we're going to be talking about over the next day or two. Cuts have to be in by 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Remember, 16 players can go on the practice squad, and 11 players will be without a team for, as far as the Detroit Lions are concerned. So, Lamb needs to be cut. It was a lot of bad today. A lot of stuff that they're going to have to clean up. But here's the takeaway that I have for this team. If you just look at, just hear me out. Just hear me out. I did have an episode. I exploded because all I heard all season was how Tim Boyle was ahead of David Blau. And I just thought that was nonsense. I mean, not all season, all last week. And I just thought that was nonsense. I said, are you watching the same game? I mean, even YouTubers were saying that Tim Boyle had made leaps and stuff and all. And I'm like, are you watching the same game that I saw? One good game does not put Tim Boyle in front of David Blau. And then David Blau came out, had a chance to submit the quarterback, the number 2, and then he kind of laid an egg, and then Boyle came back out there. So I will say this, 2 things that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have failed at right now. The Trinity Benson experiment, that's an experiment that's still going on. If he gets cut, that's a failure, okay? Also, not drafting a backup quarterback. Now, I know a lot of you in the comment section are going to be like, oh, here we go about backup quarterbacks again. Your backup quarterback should be able to win you some games until your starter can recover. If your starter goes down for a long period of time, then you have to get somebody else to come in. Then you go maybe a Jimmy G or something like that. But the backup quarterback needs to be able to win games. That's why they're there. Otherwise, you might as well put a punter or a tight end something back there, right? They have to have some ability, okay? Now, I think that we need another quarterback. I don't know if David Blau has submitted number 2. It's so many unanswered questions. Last year, for the last preseason game, there are things that we knew. We knew that Craig Reynolds and Jamar Jefferson were battling it out. And now Jamar Jefferson, he was pulled out after that first quarter. I don't know if he was hurt, but he might be cut as well. So I would say look for potentially Jamar Jefferson to be cut, Quintez Cephas to be cut. Man, Devin Funchess, it's going to be a tough, it's like we didn't get to see enough. The offense was so stagnant. I don't know if I feel any different from the way I did last week or yesterday for that matter. So I don't know. It's going to be a lot of interesting things happening. Maurice Alexander, does he make the team? I don't know. Godwin Igwebuike is supposed to be the kick returner, but he didn't see a lot. So I don't know. I so many unanswered questions as the end of the preseason is here. And I don't know if I feel any different than I felt yesterday. So let me know how you feel in the comments below. Preseason is over. Now it's on to the regular season. The Lions open at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, and then they also host the Washington Commanders in week 2. If you take the first team offense against the Atlanta Falcons, 10 plays, we scored. If you take the first team defense, we bent, but we didn't break. So I think if you couple the 2 together, I don't think it's as bad as it seems, even though today was absolutely terrible. So let me know what y'all think down below. My name is Derek. This is Detroit Lions Syndicate. We are here, man. The season is here. Season starts on the 8th. The Detroit Lions kick off on the 11th. So I will see you then. I will be streaming on both the Gridiron Blitz and Detroit Lions Syndicate simultaneously so I can cater to both fan bases. And then we will have a post-game show directly after the games on Detroit Lions Syndicate. So make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be ready for that. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. Cuts are coming over the next 2 days. Who's going to make this team? We shall see. And as always, go Lions.